الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين وبعد. In a few videos before, we mentioned the topic of book thieves, لصوص الكتب, using the words of Imam al-Albani rahimahullah. We mentioned a few aspects of this topic and the fact that for the sake of Allah, groups of people today, without taking permission from the authors, publishers, or translators, they make copies of their books, PDF, online for free. And when somebody talks to them, they become arrogant and abusive. I mentioned this before, and they're like using a statement by Imam Sheikh Muqbil rahimahullah, a Salafi scholar. One of those people who are mentioning that fatwa by Sheikh Muqbil, I've known about Sheikh Muqbil since before he became Muslim. And we promote the knowledge of Sheikh Muqbil rahimahullah, a student of Albani and Ibn Baz, a student of the scholars. He was a Salafi scholar. From the manhaj he followed and promoted is that no one is immune from making mistakes and errors, including the scholars. Everybody makes mistakes. So to come to a fatwa that Sheikh Muqbil, who died 1999-2000, before the flourishing of today's internet and PDF and all that stuff, he mentioned a fatwa that he issued about not allowing people to keep knowledge in books, and therefore, according to him, you can just publish books for people so that the knowledge can reach Muslims. You can't keep knowledge away from Muslims. It's a clear mistake. It's a clear mistake, and I mentioned the reasons for that. Number one, like myself, there are translators and authors of books who have absolutely no income except from sales of books. They produce the books, they get paid for translating, for example, or sales of their books. And for people to come and copy the books, put them online as PDF for free, you are ruining the business of these brothers and sisters who are trying to help the ummah. They're the ones who are doing this for Allah's sake, trying to help the ummah by producing books that are beneficial for Muslims, especially in the English language and other languages. You are ruining their business. And I have a question for these people. Why are you targeting only authors and translators of Islamic books? Why? Who are you helping by doing this? It's not the Muslims, because the audience that is using these books, it doesn't click here that I am really ruining the chances of these brothers and sisters to do even more books and benefit even more Muslims, because some of them put their entire savings, even borrowed money. It happened with me. And they do these books for no compensation from anyone. Nobody is paying for them. They're staying at home, maybe doing this work. I used to work 14 hours a day, every day. And inshallah ta'ala, I'll try to do even more books and booklets to serve the ummah. But I put all my money there in those books. Alhamdulillah, I have so far close to 60 books in print. Half of them, I own them. I put so much money in there. produce the books, want to do sales, and then find out that the book is online for free. And then I have my books sitting in the garage, and I responded to some liar who said that Kuwait did the books. No, the books I have in the garage, I didn't get them from Kuwait. I did them here. I paid for that. Anyway, so you're ruining my chances of getting back some of the money I borrowed so I can pay the people so I can do more books. You're doing this for Allah's sake? How can this be for Allah's sake? Who is benefiting really from driving the translators and authors out of the business of translating and authoring Islamic books? Who's benefiting from that? Who? The audience, going back to the audience who gets these books, they have internet, obviously, phones, they live in homes, so they're not poor. In these, standards I'm just mentioned, you have a house, you have a car, you have internet, you have a phone, you're not poor. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. But they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay. They want to get things for free, and they are reckless about the rights of the authors and translators, and they don't have this desire. It seems Allah knows best. Some of them may be ignorant. Well, anyway, in your heart, be eager to have even more translators and authors, not have a hand in driving them out of business. I know businesses that were producing Islamic material, they went out of business. They told me, we produced something a few weeks, people produce them for free, and we're out. I know brothers who are hesitating to do more books because they had a bad experience in that they produce books, they're trying to sell, and the books are already online, PDF for free. So the audience who buys these books for the sake of Allah, why didn't you pay? Don't tell me you don't have money. You have internet. Don't pay for the books and the authors and translators, and you are helping to drive these people out of the business of authoring and translating. It is really, how can I, you are having a big hand in promoting the book Thieves and what they do. This is theft. And for example, I mentioned an example. A few brothers I know, like one of them, he's hesitating to do more books because one of the books, less than a month after he produced the book, he wants to sell, get back his money. What's wrong with you Muslims who do this, who help the thieves? They want to get back their money, but they can't because the book is out within a month. I know a few brothers who used, some of them hundreds of thousands of dollars, I know them personally, to buy books from all over the world in Arabi, Urdu, English, other languages about Islamic topics, mainly from people who quote the Quran and Sunnah. I mean, tell me, is this really for the sake of Allah that you go to that man's store and say, mashallah, this book is in English now, I need a copy, and that one, I like the cover here, and then you buy one copy each, and then you go put them online for free, PDF. How is this man going to sell the books that he collected for the benefit of the Ummah? They are the ones who are doing this for Allah's sake. Now the people who want to get those books for free, is it really too hard for you to pay $3, $5, $10? The people need to keep working. They need income. They need to pay for their expenses. Otherwise, they will find other kinds of jobs. and then we will not have enough people to author, translate Islamic books. And just like me, I don't get any support from any organization in the world. The only time an organization produced some of my books, we did in Kuwait. I don't even have enough copies, maybe 3 copies of each book. And those books stayed in Kuwait. I did the books here in America, paid a lot of money for that, and I borrowed some money. I still owe some money from that. How can you tell me you're doing for Allah's sake what you're doing to me and people like me, sisters and brothers who are working hard to explain the religion, to teach you Islam? You don't want to pay $3, $5? Maybe one would buy 5, 10 books, and then they realize that these books are for free. Why did I buy them? If that happens, or they would get those books for free because they don't want to pay $3, $5, $10, so the people can get their money. So you can support the authors and translators. You know, this is for Allah's sake. You can support them. Yeah, brother, take. You're asking for $3, I'm gonna give 30. Some people did that, actually. May Allah reward them. So you're getting all these books for free, but you might order pizza for that day that could cost you these days $100. Pizza for food, but $3 you can't pay. So the brothers who opened bookstores trying to sell, you are helping ruin their business. How can they pay back for the books that they mainly borrowed? Can you go to that store and tell the person who is trying to, pay back the debts, we stole your book for Allah's sake, Habibi. Well, thank you very much. Let me end with this, because those book thieves are funny. I didn't say they're not funny. They're funny. Recently, a discussion started about this topic. And the person who was arguing for stealing the books, they have some of my books. I did not give permission for anyone to copy my books on PDF and distributing them for free. You want a copy? I said many times before, tell me I can't afford it. We did that many times. We'll send it to you for free. I'm not going to ask you. You have email, you have internet, you have a phone, you don't have $3. Habibi, you want it? I'll give it to you. Alhamdulillah. And inshallah, this is all for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, those books like Zadul Ma'ad, 50 Righteous Concepts, brought by Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Muhammad's Role in Islam, Biography and Mission of Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, I did not give permission for anyone to produce them on PDF and distribute them for free. No one. If anyone tells you I did, they're liars. Sheikh Muqbil did not say in any way or form, and I challenged these people before, until today nobody gave me an answer. Did Sheikh Muqbil say the authors and translators who are not supported by anybody, they do books, they borrow money to produce books for the benefit of the Ummah, go ruin their business and put the books on PDF for free? I don't think he ever heard about the word PDF at all. So don't lie about Sheikh Muqbil. He didn't say that. Also, in the Gulf area now and some other Arab countries, they adopted the copyright law. They do not allow people to do this nonsense that they copy Islamic books only. They copy Islamic books only especially in English, for authors and translators who are working and without getting compensation from anyone, who did these books for the sake of Allah, trying to sell the books to get money. It is not allowed now in Saudi, in Kuwait, and many other Arab countries. They're not allowed. Imam Ibn Baz said you can't do that. It's a clear fatwa. Imam Al-Albani called them book thieves. So even if Sheikh Muqbil made that fatwa, who you want to listen to? His shuyukh, Imam Al-Albani, Imam Ibn Baz, or gonna listen to your shaitan? Steal these books for the sake of Allah. Ruin the business for those authors and translators for the sake of Allah. So a discussion came, and someone mentioned that I translated a lot of books, including Tafsir ibn Kathir. So they asked that person who mentioned that Tafsir ibn Kathir is one of my books. I did a half of it. Did you take permission from Ibn Kathir to translate his book? I think it's going to be tough, because Ibn Kathir died hundreds of years ago. There were no copyright anything during that time. He did not mention in his tafsir, this is copyrighted. Contact me or my inheritors from now until the day of judgment to produce Tafsir ibn Kathir. Isn't that silly? How can I take permission from Tafsir, from Ibn Kathir, to translate his tafsir? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. What can I say? Also, I translated a half of Tafsir ibn Kathir for Darus Salam. They published Tafsir ibn Kathir, and Sheikh Al-Mubarak Furi, rahimahullah, a scholar of hadith, edited the hadith in Tafsir ibn Kathir. So that's the copy that I translated, and Tafsir ibn Kathir now is found in English, is found on the internet for free. Darus Salam has tens of workers. They used to work very hard on translating and authoring Islamic books, especially in English. You're telling me you're doing this for Allah's sake? You put Tafsir ibn Kathir for free? Because you can't keep knowledge. Really? So I saw somebody sent me a video for a sheikh, an Arab sheikh. He seems from the Gulf area. I don't want to mention the country, but he was saying, yeah, do this because people can't keep knowledge, Islamic knowledge, from the masses. So you can do this. Really? I would like to have the name of that sheikh. Bi'idhnillah, I'm going to call the authorities in his country and tell them, look at this man. He's promoting defiance of what you decided, which is the truth, that no one can put any book on PDF without permission from the author, translator, producer, publisher. Because I need to mention his name there and say to them, look what this man is doing. Those people, some of them who are copying books and putting them on the internet for free, PDF on PDF, they claim they're Salafi. Really? You are Salafi? How are you Salafi? So you're promoting now defiance of the governments in the Gulf area by saying, I don't care, they have law here, I'm going to defy it. This is the way of the Khawarij, not the way of the Salafis. And I want to mention, this is very important. We mentioned about Tafsir ibn Kathir, and other books, that of course we can take permission from Ibn Kathir. Ibn Kathir did not put any copyright, anything on his book. Imam Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyya, rahimahullah, do you know how he used to earn his income? He used to copy books and sell the copies. He didn't keep the knowledge in his house and say, unless you pay me money, you're not gonna keep the copy. He didn't. Of course he did. I just mentioned he did. So if anybody says nobody before did it, they didn't keep knowledge, well, Ibn al-Qayyim kept it at home, and he wouldn't have given you a copy unless you paid for it, because this is how he earned his income, so he can do the books that we know by Ibn al-Qayyim that benefited the ummah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Now, to end about that sheikh and other people, you can't keep Islamic knowledge from the masses. Really? So I gather from what you're saying is that if you're working, if that sheikh himself is an imam of a masjid, teacher of Islamic studies at school or college, a khatib of Jum'ah, they're not getting any salary, right? They're doing this for free. Let's suppose that sheikh who issued that fatwa work at a Islamic college. If the Islamic college told him, MashaAllah, you have good knowledge, let's not keep your knowledge away from the masses. Can you come and teach with us for free? He's gonna say, no, I'm not teaching anything for free. You're gonna keep your knowledge just because you don't want, because you want money? Yeah, I'm gonna go to another school that pays me money to do all these jobs. How come they don't issue fatwas about that? About those people who are working in Islamic schools and masajid, teaching at masajid, that they too shouldn't be working for money. Otherwise, they would move to another job because they're keeping their knowledge from the masses unless they're paid. Can that person, that sheikh, say this? Yeah, by the way, I refuse to take a salary from where I'm working at, because I'm not going to keep knowledge from the ummah. And they're not going to say that. You see? This is a very important question. Ask yourself. However, we're doing books for translators and authors who put all their time and effort, borrowed money, their money, producing books for the ummah. Can I copy them on PDF and put them on the internet for free? Of course. Don't keep knowledge from the ummah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make Muslims aware of their religion, because this is awful. This is awful. I have no idea what's going to happen in a few years. It's all in Allah's hand. To those who, like me, put all their effort, time, money, producing books for the ummah, what's going to happen to them? If people keep doing this, maybe they'll just quit and do other jobs. It's not related to this topic, but I know of a brother who had studied in Medina, master's degree in Islamic studies. He was working as imam at some masjid. They don't want to pay. So many masajid today, they don't want to pay the imam a good salary so they can take care of their family. Gave a headache, such a headache to that man. That imam had to end selling pizza, delivering pizza, halal pizza. And when somebody tells him, there is a masjid here looking for imam, thank you, I prefer to sell pizza. Maybe that's what you want, to help the kuffar. Help the kuffar by not producing enough books about the religion, explaining the religion, defending the religion, because you drove or helped drive those authors and translators to bankruptcy. Because these are the only ones who are benefiting. You cannot justify stealing books and then saying it's for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين.